guys? Harold here, Figuremania Show. Hope you guys are well wherever you are in the world. And in today's video, I'm giving you guys a look at the brand new S.H.Monsterarts Godzilla -1, also known as Godzilla 2023. Now, before I go any further, I just want to let you know that I have not seen the movie, but I know everything that happens and things because I've been paying close attention to the to the community and what people have been saying and things. Now, for those of you who may or may not know, I live in Taiwan, and for whatever reason, this movie did not release here in Taiwan, which is a major bummer. It was like the most anticipated movie for me to watch this year, and it's not coming. But so in any case, I'll just have to wait until like the streaming services pick it up and things, or find another way to watch this movie. But from what I gather, this movie is universally getting high praises from everybody. So it's good to hear that, you know, all Godzilla fans, I think, are in agreement that the new movie is fantastic. Now, to get into the figure itself, okay, now I am going to give you my honest, objective opinion about the figure that I have in front of me, okay? I know that there has been a lot of other reviewers. There's been a lot of people reporting different things, giving negative opinions about it or whatever. You know, I'm not speaking regarding that. I can only speak on behalf of what I have here in front of me, and I spent a few days doing toy photography with this figure, and I honestly think this figure is absolutely awesome. I love the coloration and everything. It poses very, very well. All right, so I just want to give you guys a closer look at it and stuff, and also too, I want to just let you guys know what to look out for this figure, because even though you know, like if you've been collecting S.H.Monsterarts a long time, you know, there is a certain level of care that you have to deal with when you're dealing with S.H.Monsterarts. Okay, now some S.H.Monsterarts are a little bit more delicate than others, and this one here is definitely a little bit more delicate, that you should handle with care a little bit more than the other ones that have been released, and I will show you why. Giving you guys a look at the sculpt detail. This thing has absolutely crisp details from head to toe, and I really, really like this figure a lot. I mean, I think in terms of the sculpt, it just looks beautiful. Okay, I like it very much. So let's just take a closer look of his face. Let me see if I can zoom in. There you go. So nice detailing there. Okay, opening up his mouth. Very nice. I like that little membrane, that webbing, that meaty flesh around his mouth, and like when you open and close it, like you can see it, like it just goes, you know, back and forth and things. Very cool. I mean, very well engineered in my opinion, what I think. Okay, so let's go down further. So I'm just gonna move the camera a bit. Okay, just giving you guys a look further down. Crisp detail. Very, very well. Very solid. Okay, even like the toes. Okay, and there's even sculpting detail at the bottom of his feet, which is pretty nice. Very cool. Okay, so looking at the tail. Very nice detailing around all throughout the figure. Getting into the articulation of the figure. Now, a lot of times in my experience, when I unbox an S.H.Monsterarts figure, it tends to be stiff out of the package. Okay, so what I do with my figures is I take a hair dryer and I just douse this whole thing from head to toe in high heat, you know, with a hair dryer, and it loosens the plastic, and you'd be surprised how much more range of posability you get by using a hair dryer on your figure. Now, I'm not, you know, so even after I've used the hair dryer, I mean, I still got a good range of, you know, posing with this figure. See, like I can turn the head a little bit easier now and things. Okay, all right, very cool. Okay, and like it's got like all these segments on the neck. Okay, so lifting it up. Okay, so I think that's about as much as I can get it. I might be able to squeeze out just a tiny bit more. Now, there is something that you have to pay close attention to, is these dorsal fins here. They move, okay? Now, I have seen people, you know, wiggle them around and things. Now, for me, like if it looks delicate, don't play around with it. I mean, so like, yes, it moves in things, but I don't recommend any of you guys fooling around with it. Try pulling it out or wiggling around, because, you know, they can pop out. And if it does pop out, then it's going to be difficult to put that back in. All right. So just be mindful that, you know, it's, you know, that's there. And also too, like when you're posing him, if you want to give him this pose, just be mindful of like be careful, like use both hands when you're doing that and things, and you shouldn't have any problems. I mean, look, I mean, just looking at this, if you're very careful with your figure, then you shouldn't encounter any problems, at least for me. Okay, so I've been very careful treating this guy with kid gloves, because these dorsal fins, they're nice and sharp and things, but like if I start wiggling them around, pulling them and things, I have seen people like try and bend them. Like, look, I don't recommend that you guys do that with your figure. Okay, like if you want to preserve your figure, then I mean, they're not toys for children. You know, they're high-end collectibles and stuff, so they demand a certain level of care, more so than, you know, other figures. Okay, especially you know, action figures of this caliber. Okay, so you get good range of posing. I can raise his arms up all the way. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So very nice. Okay, so I got good range, good posing on his arms. Very good. People have been telling me that, you know, theirs pops out. You know, for my figure, I have not experienced that. So I will let you know right now, my experience with this figure has been nothing but just absolute positive. Okay, I've really enjoyed doing you know, taking photos with this figure and things, and yeah. So if you guys feel differently, well, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay, all right, now moving down towards here, so like you get a bend over here, which is really nice. Okay, so again, be mindful of you know, your dorsal fins, like when you're turning him, twisting him and things. So he's got it, very nice range. Okay, and there's also too like another cut here where you can twist. Okay, so in the trailer, I haven't seen the movie, but in the trailer, I mean, he does that. He crouches forward and he roars, so you can do that. Now, there you go. So you see, I just used my thumb, I pushed his belly in, and then I am able to get that. You see that right there? So see, okay, so like you have like this floating piece there, you know? So, okay, so, oh, my light fell. I don't know, I'll keep going. All right, so you got that good posing range. Okay, so let me just go down a little bit. Very cool. Okay, so he can definitely look all the way down, you know, looking at his toes. Okay, so bear in mind, I mean, I used a hair dryer after, so like you'd be surprised how much hidden articulation you're able to squeeze out of more of S.H.Monsterarts figures when you use a hair dryer, in my experience. Okay, so like I'm gonna lift them back up. Okay, so when you're posing him and you're moving him around, just exercise patience and be very careful, and you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, so there you go. And you got good range on his legs. Okay, so very nice. Okay, so you can move them up and down like if you need like that extra space and stuff. Very cool. All right, and you got a little bit of movement here at the knee. Okay, and these toes for you know, they're articulated toes, so I like that very much, because like, you know, like when you're giving, if you want to give him like a walking pose, or if you give him like one of those you know, those poses like where he's crouching down, I mean, this really helps a lot. I mean, I wish other S.H.Monsterarts, Godzilla S.H.Monsterarts had that instead of just that flat foot, you know what I mean? So like, it really helps with being able to pose them more for pictures, or even just leaving them up on your shelf. You want to give them like a nice dynamic pose. Okay, and then finally the tail. I mean, again, I do recommend that you use a hair dryer, and then once you use the hair dryer, you'd be surprised how much more. Okay, so I just popped it out. I mean, that tends to happen quite often. Okay, but putting it back in is not a problem. And that's about as much as I can squeeze out of the range for the tail. So let me give you guys a closer look at it. So that's pretty cool. So again, don't worry about it popping up, it happens. Okay, but like you can get his tail to arch really nicely. So what I like to do is I just like to gently and but firmly, okay, do this for each segment of the tail, just to squeeze a little bit out at a time. Okay, again, that will happen, don't worry. Just pop it back in and keep going. And there. So, very good bend at the tail. I forgot to mention about the painting of the eyes and the teeth and everything. Now, if you're looking at my figure, to me, this is good. I mean, I don't have any complaints about that. Is it accurate? Probably not. I mean, you know, this is a small scale figure, you know what I mean? And the eyes are really, really tiny and stuff. So like, it can be easy to mess up the paint on the eyes of this figure. And we've seen that quite often in the S.H.Monsterarts line. You know, not an excuse, it just happens, you know. So you know, I have heard of other people, you know, complaining about you know, the eyes not painted well and things. I mean, that really sucks, you know what I mean? And of course, I mean, you guys you know, you guys have every right to be frustrated about that, you know what I mean? You guys are paying quite a bit of money for this figure and things, and you want it to be at least you know, the paint to be serviceable at least, you know. So looking at mine, I mean, I really like it. I don't have any real complaints with my figure. So I don't know, I guess I consider myself lucky in that regard. So hopefully, if you guys are on the fence with this figure, I mean, you know, I don't know, take a look, guys, and you guys decide whether you guys want to invest your money into this figure or not. Okay, for me personally, I mean, I'm very happy with this purchase. Getting into some size comparisons, here we have the Hiya Toys Godzilla 2021 updated version, and we have Godzilla 91 by S.H.Monsterarts. And I wish they would have just, you know, upped the scale on this guy a little bit more. I would have liked for him to be a little bit bigger, but you know, it is what it is. But we are getting a bigger figure from Super 7, and I did pre-order that figure, so I'm looking forward to that one. For my final thoughts on this figure, I think this figure is a solid figure with a lot of quality. Now, I have seen other people say otherwise. You know, I can only speak for what I have here in front of me, and I have no complaints for this figure. I think this is a beautiful figure. It's got everything that I want at, you know, as a toy photographer. So you guys know, if you guys have been following me for any length of time on my Instagram, you guys know that I almost exclusively shoot Godzilla toy photography and things. And, you know, having a good Godzilla figure is important for me. A good, you know, having the figure have a nice sculpt and having nice paint apps and everything, that's all important to me. Also, having nice paint at the teeth and the eyes, that's equally important for me. And for the figure that I have here, it passes. Okay, so now if you guys are watching and you guys have this figure and, you know, there's issues with your figure, I'm really sorry you guys, you know, have that. You know what I mean? I mean, in a perfect world, no one should have those kind of issues and stuff, especially for the amount of money that we're paying. You know what I mean? But for everybody else who's on the fence about this figure, I mean, it's really up to you whether you want to invest your money into this figure. Now, bear in mind that there are other things coming down the line. We are getting the Super 7 version of that. Now, to my understanding, like, the promotional images are renders, not an actual figure. So we'll see about that. And, you know, we still have Haya Toys. You know, they recently did acquire the license to do Godzilla figures, Toho figures, but there's been no indication whether they're working on their version of the -1 or not. Only time will tell. You know what I mean? So again, it's up to you whether you guys want to wait, skip this and wait for something else. But for me personally, I'm very happy with this purchase. I really like it. It photographs beautifully. Guys, I can't wait to show you the photos that I did with this figure. He's just awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much, guys. Please wait to the end and I will show you my photo gallery and the behind the scenes of this figure. Thank you very much, and I will check you guys later. Bye-bye.